Welcome back. So, advanced testers versus novice testers. So, this is the topic now, and this is one of my favorite topics in the testing domain. And being a tester and being a mobile tester, you're supposed to test and deliver the results. This is what your own objective, and this is what going to be your management or organization objective. But is that all? Testing a feature or functionality, and then there are some defects, and you found some defects and you report it and you keep testing it. Is that all for being a tester, or is there anything else that makes you an advanced tester? That is what we are going to discuss in this topic. So, what an advanced test engineer do and what a novice test engineer will do. Executes the tests as an user and provide additional coverage to the product during execution with his or her domain knowledge before product hits the market. Being a user, that everybody uses the product, and when you are a tester as well, so you use the product with the user eye, and not only the coverage which is described in the test cases document, and you will also provide additional coverage to the product during the execution. Domain knowledge is really a key for being an advanced tester. So if you're testing a domain-based banking application, or an application, airline application, or a messaging application, if you don't know the domain fully and you only concentrating on the buttons usability, or whether it is functionality of the buttons and functionality of the list items, functionality of the navigation, you really miss something. You are a novice tester in that scenario, and you do that before product hits the market. And there are multiple dimensions available in this particular scenario. So if the product goes to the market in Google Play or iTunes or Windows Phone Marketplace, if the product is not well tested anyway, the user will complain about it. User will come back to you and saying this is not the way they're supposed to. They really want to use the client. So then you will additionally write those defects, and then write those issues, write those problems, and then you will get that done for the product. That is a lateral approach, that is more reactive approach. I suggest a more proactive approach by testing the product as a user with a complete domain knowledge. That is what the first thing an advanced tester do. You can see the screen about the novice tester. They just complete the test execution of assigned tests. That's all they do. The other issue is connected with real users of the product and clients via support, social media, app, marketplace reviews. How you will really connect? Probably you will follow the issues people emails sent to the support team, and then you will check with them what are the issues being faced by the people, and what are the other things, other features they really want. You may also have a social media group like in Facebook or in Twitter. Create your own application account, and then you will follow the users there. And you will also follow the marketplaces, Google Play, iTunes, Windows Phone marketplaces, read the reviews, convert them into test cases if possible. That is how you will provide additional coverage. Because in a lab environment, you will only be able to capture 80% of the issues. The real issues you will never be able to notice in a lab or office environment. Only the real users can give you that kind of real feedback. For that, you need to really connect with them first. Work with little compassion to the product and keep track of issues raised by him/her in the different defect management system. You saw a defect, you write it, and then you forget it, and you'll never check with what happened to that issue. Is that really fixed? How many percentage of the users will be affected if that issue is kept open and you release the product? You will never do that if you are a simple novice tester. You will just try to complete the task assigned to you, that's all. There it comes. Tests in different environment conditions such as office and travel and home. Because the real issues always out there. The real issues will come when you're not really inside the office environment. Because, for example, there is a small memory leak in your iPhone application, and you keep using the client, and if you use the client for like 10 hours, 12 hours, it occurs. You will never be able to find this if you only test it in office environment and keep the DUT and lock it inside and then you leave. It will only happen when you keep using that client, when the application is open all the time. So you should really keep the test DUTs with you and keep testing it all the time. Doesn't mean that you should always pressing the buttons. It's just that you always carry your testing device and make sure that you time and again you check it so that those real issues will be replicated. As I said before, a novice tester only tests in the office environment where only 80% of the issues comes. Then observes the market condition happenings around the product or ecosystem. What is really happening in that domain, in that product? For example, if it's a messaging client, so you never know what are all the other messaging clients out there in the market. You don't know where the details of the messaging clients being posted. You never read Mashable, you never read TechCrunch, you never read NextWeb. That is called novice testing. You'll always take a look at what is really happening around. There may be API changes, there may be things that related to that product. There may be things that really affects your own product when what you're testing right now. And you should really care about that. Knows the history of the product being tested. If you're joining somewhere and there is a product already there in testing and you are joining in the middle and you never read the old issues, you never read the history, Jira, Track or Quality Center, you never read the old issues and you'll only test what is given to you at that point in time. That is also a bad practice. You should really know the history of the product being tested. the technology of the product being tested. That is how people will call you advanced tester. Tries to utilize tools. Some tools only the management gives you access, because certain tools you need to pay, but most of the tools there is a demo with there is always a demo, and you should really think out of the box, go there, acquire the demo, try it out. For automation, Monkey Talk is one of the best tool which is free, I think, and there were any tool offers 15 days to 30 days of demo period. You should try that, showcase to your management or your leaders or to yourself that how it is really happening. There are cloud services like in Skirako Cloud, it is at least 1 hour of free usage is given, and you should really be able to use that 1 hour into different devices, installing your application in different devices. There is separate session for the cloud services. You can also see that. Cloud services like Perfecto Mobile, Device Anywhere, you should try that. Usability. Other than checking what is usability, you should really read some concepts like some books. Steve Krug's Don't Make Me Think. You should read. Without reading that, you will never be able to understand the industry's best practices in usability. And you will apply those best practices in your product. You will create issues, quote someone, quote somewhere, and then you will be able to get things right. I came to my second slide already. This is really important. Having a positive and fruitful relationship with the developers. If you never interact with the developer who is making it, you will not be able to provide core issues. You will not be able to provide exact issues. You will really never know what is actually happening around. Developer may be using a new API which is available, and he will never have any time to tell you that if you don't have any fruitful or positive relationship with the developers. You'll only write a Jira issue or a track issue or a Bugzilla issue, and then you'll check for that and you'll make sure that it is fixed. That's the only thing. If you do, you're a normal novice tester. Responds quickly to a clarification from the development. You wrote an issue and development is actually parallelly working on it. You've been writing 7-8 issues, 15 issues, and then developers are asking some clarification, logs, screenshots, reproducibility rates of your third issue which you wrote in the morning. And you should really help them understand it quickly. And fixing that is a priority. Then you should really respond to clarifications so quickly. If you're in the middle of the testing and you cannot respond to old issues, if you consume time to respond issues, then I don't call you an advanced tester. Add almost all positive data when creating a defect in the defect management system. Think about, you don't really add a screenshot. And think about, you never add a log. And that is not going to help. Make sure that which platform you tested, which OS version you tested, which DUT you tested, device under test, which hardware it is, Samsung, HTC, LG. What is the version of the software, what is a Git version, CVS version, configuration management system version, how many times you manage to reproduce that issue, what is the exact steps to reproduce that with a clear description and title, possible screenshots, possible logs. If you do that, it will be easy for the developer to fix it. If you add minimal data, it's not going to help anyway. That is what I am saying. You should really add a lot of data related to that defect. So I'll call you an advanced tester. Verify the conformance of the product in various methods environments. You're testing a web application and you should really test it in all the possible mobile browsers. Opera browser, Dolphin browser, UC browser, Skyfire, Safari browser, Google Chrome browser, Android native browser. Make sure that you test it in all possible environments before confirming a product that goes to market. We'll only execute writes, test, pass or fail in 1 or 2 browsers, or test it in 1 or 2 OSs, operating system versions or platform versions. You are Novice tester. Reads and knows the industry technical specs. For example, you are testing a messaging application which is open sourced and it is based on XMPP. You never know what is the RFC for that. If you never know what is the standards for that, if it's a VoIP SIP application, SMS application, so you never know what is the documents related to that which is online, what is the specifications written online. If you least bother about that, I'll not call you an advanced tester. 3GPP, third generation partnership project. 3GPP2, there are so many specifications available. Make sure you read that. That gives you a domain knowledge of that product which you are testing. Then, checks the fellow testers are doing the right thing. Being a tester, it's not only you completing your own tasks. It's about also caring about what other people are doing around you, helping them in testing, letting them know how you are testing it, helping them to write clear steps. That is how you call yourself advanced tester. Creating lazy documents, creating quick testing procedures, sharing with the other test engineers, team members. That is what I call you advanced tester. If you only care about your own work, if you doesn't care about others' work, I don't call you an advanced tester. If you don't share your tips and tricks to other people, then I don't call you an advanced tester. Aware of initiatives, plans of the team, and always willing to take part. That explains itself. Is there an automation initiative and then you are very afraid to take part in that, and you're saying that I can't code, I cannot take part in any automation initiatives, I am very scared. If you say that, I don't call you advanced tester. An advanced tester always ready to take part of any initiative. There are applications, there are frameworks that requires only minimal amount of coding and only needs concentration and motivation. That kind of tools you can use if you cannot really code. But willing to participate in certain initiatives calls you as an advanced tester. As I said before, reads TechCrunch, Meshable, NextWeb, along with Facebook, Twitter, and participate in online testing forums such as Mobile QA Zone. You should really subscribe it. Maybe you should pause the video right now and navigate to this site mobileqazone.com, where we are available. Mobile testers are available. You can post your doubts, queries, problems, issues. We are ready to take part in that. We are ready to help you in that as a fellow mobile tester. I hope you already passed. So it will take some time to log in or subscribe in there. So next, writes and executes a lot of negative test cases during the testing or before testing, innovates more negative test cases on the go. You will only care about the positive test cases, will not be really able to fetch any defects. If a product being tested for 3 cycles, it's less likely to give you defects, good defects. It will never give you good defects if all the positive scenarios covered and gets raised and gets fixed. On the go, you should innovate negative scenarios, plan for negative scenarios. During browsing, make a call. During feature navigation, receive an incoming call, and trigger an alarm alert, trigger a scheduler alert, trigger a calendar alert. Then you will be able to fetch some defects. Try to change the orientation, landscape to portrait during screen navigation. Keep the mobile application on for like an hour idle, and then pick up and then try to check what is there in your application. Is it crashing? Is this application capable of handling leaving test? That is how it goes. If you just follow your own test plan, that covers. But if you never write any negative test scenarios, that doesn't cover, and you are not an advanced tester in that scenario. Organize builds, files, logs, screenshots, emails in the PC or Mac in different folders, easily accessible. Being a mobile tester, you will be testing multiple platforms, say Android, iPhone, Windows Phone. Different builds will be there, different versions will be there. Create separate folders. Android folder contains Android builds, Android files, and there is a log folder in there, another Android folder, there Android logs. Screenshot folder where I can find iPhone screenshots separately. So that is how you call yourself an advanced tester. A novice tester like me, maybe. Clumsy desktop, unorganized email system with a tad lot of searching to find things out. Enjoys working in execution. Try to find innovative ways for fast execution. If you organize your things very well, you will execute faster. Certain things, for example, if you add your ADB tools path in your environment variables, you can issue the ADB anywhere. Every time navigating to the Android ADB folder will eat your time. That is what I said, that innovate faster ways to execute. Cycle after cycle, it has to improve. Your testing execution has to be faster than before. So 100 test cases, you took 4 hours in the first cycle, and you should take less time than 4 hours in the next cycle, because now you learned it. So certain test cases covers more than few other test cases, so you don't need to execute that. You can only update the results because you already seen the result. So that is how you will be able to execute faster. Knows, well aware of what feature is implemented and what is not. So there is 100 features getting implemented, and you should know or maintain a log by yourself what is implemented at that build, at that version, what is not implemented at that version. You shouldn't really raise a defect that is not implemented yet. That is how you should check the documentation before you really start execution. Every time checking the documentation is not advisable. You do it one time, or do it with other testers one time, and speak to the other testers while doing execution, and then gain the domain knowledge. Loves to contribute in automation and learning new tools. That is how it goes. Never be reluctant in learning automation. Never be scared. So, an advanced tester either know coding or love to learn coding or love to try out frameworks without coding like Calabash. Never be reluctant on anything. I've seen reluctant people, novice testers, they are a little bit really scared if we start talking automation. That calls for you a novice tester. So then knows a bit of coding, are willing to learn it so that it can be used in white box testing, understand the code when it's required. Yes. In case of a defect leakage, this is really important. Advanced tester tries to find the root cause of the leakage, try to include that scenario into the test suite. And advanced tester never go upset, because an advanced tester know that not everything can be covered. 95% of the defects is what you are going to cover in test execution. That too, mobile testing world, it's even 10% of the defects go unnoticed in the are unable to recreate in a testing lab environment. It only happens with the different networks, with the different people, with different hardwares, with different processor or speeds, and you will never be able to recreate that in a testing environment. So you should make sure that you will really be able to cover that in your suits, and then make sure that that may not happen again there. Along with bugs, advanced tester also writes a lot of usability, product suggestions to project management. This button can be like this. This size will be very good. This color is not very good. You should really say that. Never writes improvements in the product, a novice tester. Only job is to verify and validate. If you do that, you will not be called as an advanced tester in my views. So right now I'm going to leave it to you that, are you an advanced tester? Thanks for watching Test Trivia mobile testing sessions, and I wish you good luck. Goodbye.